Welcome to this shit. Alright. Here we are in our living room.
Back in action.
Back in action, baby. We know our fans have just been clamoring. What's going on? Why haven't they put out content in over a day? Yeah, so, welcome to the Epstein Was Murdered podcast.
Welcome to the special episode.
We really appreciate the thousands of Epstein memes. It's definitely helping the world.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
We are that much closer to solving
unraveling the Scooby-Doo mystery of who killed Jeffrey Epstein. Hillary Clinton is Clinton's whatever. I don't know anything about politics or secret cabals where you're ushered in, you have to walk across like hot coals like in a row before you can like join, and like at the end of the coals there's like a little rabbit you have to kill and then eat.
A lot of ass paddling.
Shit, it gets weird. But we're here today trying to make some content for all of you. I know you have nothing to watch. I know you have nothing to listen to or read, so we're here to fill all your gaps,
all your holes,
and try to make you happy. So what's going on with me, Spencer A. Curry? By the way, it's such a stupid last name. I've had so many like club owners and people say, hosts, just like, yeah, you gotta change that, as they threw a cigar at my face. Like,
I hate it when they throw cigars.
I know. So last night I
like that you work at nightclubs owned by Diamond Joe Showbiz.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go anywhere with that.
Deep cut reference there that not even I understand. It's standardized clay. Like every one of them is just standardized clay. What, are you trying to break into the business, kid? What's going on? Hey, yo, I'm the Domino's man. Before I go into a lot of stuff, let me introduce my wonderful, handsome, gorgeous, brilliant,
quit looking in the mirror.
Oh yeah, co-host Eric Meberg.
Hi.
That's he wanted to say hi a little more meekly if he could take that again. But just you sound like Fievel, like just finally finding, But anyway, I did want to talk about my adventures last night. Adventures in babysitting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ran into Thor?
Yeah, I ran into Thor. Chris Hemsworth's doing great. Chris Hemsworth, I've just been playing around on Twitter lately, just barely. I saw one of Chris Hemsworth's posts, and it was just like, yep, he just like took a picture of himself just out of bed, like, yep, just regular me today, and I just wrote, so brave. It's so brave of you, Hemsworth, to like roll out of bed and take a photo of yourself. And did you go right to working out? I assumed. I'm just kidding. I love you. I hope. I really hope Thor 4 isn't terrible.
Thor 4.
The
Thor 4.
Electric corridor.
Thor 4. Darfur.
Do you want to know what the title of Thor 4 actually is? Thor, Love, and Thunder. So
it's gonna be a romantic comedy.
Yeah, that's what I think it's going.
Maybe he gets his groove back.
Yeah, maybe he gets his groove back. Well, he had lost a lot of his groove the last time we saw Thor, and I just want to see Chris Hemsworth in like the nun outfit and just doing Sister Act. Like, please, Chris Hemsworth, entirely recreate Sister Act, but play Whoopi Goldberg yourself. That would be divine. Okay, so Mr. Eric Meberg, you are well, I assume. Okay, you don't have any lesions or any there's no open wounds on you currently.
Well, not
you
that
know,
you can see.
none that I could see. I think you have a few organs hanging out, but
Not the vital ones.
I'm not one to judge. I just like pour the alcohol right on my exposed liver. I just totally.
It's kind of cut out the middleman.
Yeah, cut out the middleman. So we're 5 minutes in. I wanted to just tell you guys about my experiences last night. So me and two other comedians, not gonna drop their names, AJ Wilkerson, Harry Snover. Even though I did, great guys. We all piled in a vehicle, headed down to the Improv in Orlando, and what a time! Let me tell you. So when you're a Gainesville comedian, if you're a Gainesville comedian listening to this, and you go somewhere and you show up and they're gonna, so where are you from? And this is the reaction you're gonna get. You're from Gainesville?
Gainesville?
Gainesville? You came all the way here? What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, that's the reaction you're gonna get.
Gainesville?
Gainesville? You come down to show us poor country folk how to do your ha-has.
How kind of you to share your sophisticated city boy chuckles with us down low city country folk.
Well, if you're funny enough, we might have a bowl of pig slop for you afterward. Yeah, that's not gonna be every time, but I have had this, several people drop the Gainesville line, just like New York City, just like it's a fucking college town in Florida. I'm in Orlando or I'm in Jacksonville. This isn't that shocking.
Gainesville.
It is possible. It is possible. And so anyway, the gentleman last night didn't say that, and I was like me and the other two comics were like waiting for it, and he didn't say it. But what he did say is, "There's 3 of you."
What?
We're all gremlins. Just like somebody poured water on one comedian's back, and we all just started popping off. And
oh boy, here we go now.
There were 5 comedians from Melbourne,
Australia.
They flew a ways, all to come and do the little room at the Improv.
I'll say now, you guys are from Gainesville?
Gainesville, eh? Well, I hope you know how to hold a koala, because that's all we do. But anyway, enough. We Australians, if you're listening to this, you're fucking not. But if you are, we love you. We love Australia. Australia has a huge comedy scene. And last night, another comedian, AJ, was telling me about this Australian comedian that was like huge for like a long time, and then he just disappeared, like maybe just wandered into the bush and
had a walkabout.
Had a walkabout, and like Crocodile Dundee, except he wasn't up to the D standards, and got. But so anyway, the show. This is how it went. There was 29 comedians, I believe, and the host was like a really good guy. Like I tried not to bother him like too much, but he was really nice, great guy. Anyway, so we each got 3 minutes. We each got to do 3 minutes, and so that was so immediately I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do for 3 minutes? But came together. I did 3 bits, did a voice, everything worked out. We all piled in the vehicle and declared success. It was met a lot of comedians. I wanted to tell this quick story. Just like anyway, we got home safe, alive. Everyone was fine. But I decided to like this.
Rest in peace, Harry.
Rest in peace, Harry. Yeah, we're worried about you. But anyway, so I I'm trying to like make a couple connections before I go on stage, because before you go on stage, you have no credibility. You're just like a weirdo in the crowd, and so you're just an audience member. So a guy gets off stage, and I had a similar joke to him, and I kind of wanted to just like, hey, I have a similar joke, and I walked up to him and I was like, hey man, I really dug your set. I have a similar joke to one of your jokes, and then I did it, and he kind of said this really strange, are you serious? Like, he says that, and then I'm just like, oh, we're not gonna connect. Abort. Let's forget it. I walked away. Like, the awkward part is we kept having to like walk past each other, and then an ultra awkwardness. And then I talked to another Melbourne Australian comedian. I broke through with him, and we talked for a few minutes. I made him laugh I just told him something that happened to me, like a couple nights before, and he laughed very hard and said, "You've gotta open with that." And it was not something you ever open with. Comedians listening, never open with diarrhea. But wow. Yeah, never open with.
Close with the diarrhea.
You want to close with diarrhea. You don't want to open with diarrhea. You want to open with just something silly. But hey, you're doing stand up. Do what you want to do. It's
no rules, just right.
No rules, just right, baby. Like pour go on stage with a can of beans, and a can opener, and just crank it open, rip the top off, and just start dumping the beans on your head, and just declare, "I am Bean Boy. I am ruler of all of you. Come taste my farts." All right, sorry, people. You should have shut it off if you got to this point. But
if you have made it to this point,
what's wrong with you? We're just about to reveal the secret of life. So it's candles. You gotta get a good scented candle in your life. We're
talking Yankee candles.
Yankee, baby, Yankee.
Gotta go all the way.
It's what it's all about. Like, I had a bit. This is gonna be the last bit I do on the podcast, and we're just gonna talk. But I had a bit about how, like, I love Walmart because it's the one place where you can get stabbed to death in front of a wall of Yankee candles. Like, it's, not a lot of stabbing probably in the Yankee candle section. Where would you, like, see stabbings going on in the Walmart where people would really, like, feel in the sporting goods?
Home
apparel. Yeah, like deciding...
like next to the vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, deciding on a tile. Like, can you... Yeah. That's where people get really worked up, like, for sure.
I mean, you're making an investment, you're going to see that tile every day.
Yeah, you're going to see it every day, and then, tension builds and builds and builds until one day you're just, you're covered in blood in Walmart.
There's a knife in.
Yeah, and, like, they have robots at Walmart now. Well, like, actual, like, the Walmart we go to has a robotic floor cleaner. But
this is true.
I took a video of it because I told you about it, and I was really, in the video, it was coming at me, and I was really hoping it would just touch me. I wanted to get hit by the robot so bad so I could sue the pants off of Walmart.
They don't have the Zamboni anymore?
No, well, they do have the Zamboni. They have both. They have one robot which still has a seat and a steering wheel, but I guess they somehow, like, have some sort of like machinery in there that, like, makes it go by itself like a Roomba. But once they attach, like, a laser beam to that robot, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the film Chopping Mall or know anything about Chopping Mall. I've never seen Chopping Mall, but I've heard a lot about it. It's like sexy teens in a mall after hours, like you do, and giant. They have these security robots that have lasers and saws and just, like, can destroy people, and they malfunction and they kill everybody. So it's a good time. But yeah, yeah, Walmart, you can get stabbed there. So stay away from the sporting goods and the home decor.
Yeah.
That's our recommendation. If you're doing home decor, splurge, go to Home Depot.
Go to the Home Depot.
Go to the Home Depot and just, find Aaron.
Aaron never steers you wrong.
No, Aaron knows everything. He just, I feel I confided a lot in Aaron one time. I was going through.
He was my first wife.
Yeah, he was. We were both married to him? That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway.
That's 6 hours of my life.
So anyway, something I wanted to talk about with you is, you had no idea that a movie called Batman vs. Superman existed.
No idea.
No idea.
I had no idea Hollywood was that bankrupt of ideas.
Oh, it was horribly bankrupt. And, they were trusting Zack Snyder to helm your, two of your biggest franchises, putting them into one. And I was describing things about the movie to you, and I loved your reaction, because you just no fucking way. No fucking way is that real.
Evidently it is.
Evidently it is.
Evidently good money was set alight.
It was like the scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker lights the pile of money on fire. That's Batman versus Superman, essentially. Yes. That was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That was foreshadowing for what the next Batman series would be about. So that movie.
We were talking about it earlier, and I meant to bring this up.
Okay.
It seems like every generation seems to get the Batman they need, and then the Batman that they deserve.
Yeah.
So maybe Batman versus Superman was the Batman we deserve.
I think so.
It's this might be this generation's Batman Forever.
Yeah. Oh, Batman Forever.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. You know what? I'll take Batman and Robin over Batman Forever. If somebody's I will really want to watch a Joel Schumacher Batman movie.
I kind of want to see Batman and Robin. I've never seen it.
Really?
Batman Forever is just a steaming pile.
Batman Forever is fucking awful.
I mean, I don't know how it could be so monotonous with so many things going on at once. But yeah,
okay, sorry. I just the opening of Batman Forever is Two-Face is stealing a bank vault with a helicopter.
This is true.
And it turns out to be a trap for Batman. And it's Batman's in the vault with a bank teller, and they're inside, and all of a sudden acid starts coming out of the bank of the bank slides or whatever they're called. And I just remember the bank teller saying, "It's boiling acid!" It was the most Batman, 60s series line you would ever hear. Oh, God. Yeah, this is where we just steer this podcast to movies. Yeah. And we're back. Just took a brief moment to just collect ourselves. We had a really good day. We walked our wonderful dog. We decided we were going to attempt to have a comedian friend of mine, Dan Perea, on the podcast, but he is a busy rat soup eating motherfucker.
Very, very busy.
And he's working on stuff. He's doing. I make stuff. We all make stuff, but it was good to see him and hang out and talk. We decided to submit him to Dolomite, which is our.
I mean, you can only submit yourself to Dolomite.
Yeah, you just have to give yourself
away.
over to Dolomite, and you just so basically. Any of my comedian friends that want to come over and do a podcast, you have to watch Dolomite with us.
Yes.
You have to endure many shots of people walking into buildings and walking out of buildings And
a good 25 minutes of the film is just Dolomite rolling around in bed with various ladies.
yes, various ladies that you cannot keep track of. It's a blaxploitation film from 1975.
Yeah, 75.
Yes, once again, Dolomite Is My Name. New film came out recently. If you haven't seen the film, get your life together. But get it together, please. But yeah, Dolomite original. I went ahead and bought it, and I am so happy I did.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Really, it is. Really, it is. I've seen it twice now. I'm definitely I know I'm gonna watch it many times. We really want to see the other films that this man did. We were gonna get there,
yes.
But we are in a hot, sticky soup of Rudy Ray Moore these days.
Yes, as one can only be with.
Oh yeah, good God! Noticed on this new watchings, just brief spoilers. Just it's like he's in a love scene and like he's going at it with a lady. Hard cut, and then they're like. Oh, oh, that was great. So yeah, a lot of the movie was cut because it was going to be rated X. So to make
we can't have that.
No,
we gotta get the Dolomite into as many theaters as possible. We gotta spread the word.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Legend.
It's absolutely wonderful,
and I think it's pretty seamless when you watch it.
Yeah.
You can't really tell.
You know what's going on? Like through the whole movie, it's not like it's not like fucking Brazil or
no.
not shitting on Terry Gilliam at all. I love Terry Gilliam. If you're listening, I love your fucking work.
Yes.
But
Terry Gilliam, if you're listening.
Terry Gilliam, if you're listening, your last name sounds a lot like Gilly Suit to me. So when I say your name, I always want to say Terry Gilly Suit. So if somebody can go on Wikipedia and change his last name to Terry Gillisuit.
Mind you, Mr. Gilliam.
Yeah.
That is
sounds
Spencer
like in a
talking over there. I am over here. Huge fan of your work. Huge fan of your work.
What element on the periodic table is Gilliam? I just like is that what makes your movies? Is that the element they bring in to like make your movies? So I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop.
Again, that is Spencer over there. Over here.
Like
huge fan of your work,
I've
Mr.
never
Gilliam.
seen Eric I'm a fan too. Eric is wholeheartedly defending you, and I love your work as well. But anyway, so
thank you, Mr. Gilliam.
Thank you, Mr. Gilliam.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Terry Gillisuit. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, we had a really good day. Dan Perea came over. We hung out, watched Dolomite. We attempted to make a podcast, but he he's
a busy cat.
Busy cat, running around. I'm pretty sure he's part-time superhero. Like I think he's I definitely. Piranha Man is his Instagram handle, and I think at night he grows like huge piranha teeth, and like he drags villains into Lake Alice and just turns them into bones very quickly. Anyway, we're just riffing. Okay, final break. We just had to subdue a rhino, wild rhino in the yard, and good lord, they say they're endangered, but boy are they everywhere. All right.
I really didn't need that arm.
I didn't. You never needed that arm. I always thought that was your worst arm.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, you look so much more symmetrical now.
Yeah. And
you can, completely like pull off the one arm look.
Feels good.
No, I'm not gonna bring that up. Anyway, so we're gonna just talk about a couple more movies and a couple recommendations, and then we're out. I watched a film that's currently on Netflix that I've seen a few times, heard about in high school, American History X.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, don't. It's a big piece of shit. It it has some really good filmmaking in it. Like there's some really good, I'll say like good filmmaking, camera tricks stuff going on. It has like these very crazy over the top moments, like 4 or 5, that are kind of like this big centerpieces of the film. Something I did want to point out where I was just like, this is bullshit, was this is fucking bullshit, is a bunch of white supremacists win a basketball game.
That's not gonna happen.
That's I was like, fuck you, movie. That's really that's a
like
load of horseshit.
What, the Biloxi Globetrotters?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I thought of like another, I don't know, it's like the Harlem, like another team, like but anyway, that's not gonna go anywhere good. Anyway, we put the brakes on things, we know where we should. Anyway, American History X, big turd, don't, like, it's the film, it was some kid, I remember in like 10th grade was telling me about the movie, and it's like, there's a prison rape scene, and it's one of the big, big grandiose moments in the movie. Poor Ed Norton, Ed Norton, great actor, fucking, if you're listening, Ed Norton. Mr. Norton.
Like you on the honeymoon.
I hate your security. your computer security company, but I love
kind of a scam there.
Kind of a scam, but I dig your performances always. We're not gonna list the whole fucking thing. Ed Norton's great. He doesn't need our bump.
No.
He doesn't need the stupid smart bump.
Or does he?
Or does he? Maybe.
He does have a new film coming out.
Maybe this will be like Hills. I don't know if you heard Mickey Rourke tells like a really like blubbery story about almost killing himself, and then his dog like comes up to him, and
yes.
I've heard this story, like maybe like somehow like this podcast gets put on during like Ed Norton's really low moment, and then he's just like, you know what?
And then he wakes up and he realizes he's sleeping on a pile of money.
Yeah.
And Salma Hayek.
Yeah, and Salma Hayek made out of money.
Yes.
Like I think that's like if like Salma Hayek ever like went nude in a film, like I'm pretty sure her private parts are just money. It's just money. Anyway, Salma Hayek, Edward Norton, we love you. Both fantastic actors.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my co-host Eric has something he wants to recommend to you fine folks. So here he goes.
It's a bit of an obscure gem. I've discovered fairly recently. Saw it just last week. Kind of snuck out of theaters in, I believe, 1998. Young Turk filmmaker, kind of
98. Okay.
yeah, kind of like an old school New Hollywood throwback. His name was Jim Cameron, I believe. So kind of an obscure gem. It's called, I believe, Titanic.
Titanic? Yeah.
Stars Catherine Winslet and Leonardo.
Is it Catherine Winslet? Is that her name?
Catherine Winslet, I believe.
Something about
Catherine
that.
Ringlet.
Something about Catherine Winslet.
Leonardo da Vinci.
It's great because he does paint in the movie, or like he draws in the movie, just like Da Vinci. I wonder if like Cameron was just like, his name's Leonardo, let's have him draw in the movie, and that'll be a real like bullshitty thing. Like film students can like, hey, did you realize that? Did you know that?
I did not like the ending.
Yeah, I don't like the ending either.
Or the beginning.
Or
really
the middle.
anything in the middle.
What I'll say about Titanic, because now we're talking about it, is it's a really good-looking, well-made movie with practical effects. Like, they had a tank, they had like a huge like indoor pool, and they made like a giant almost scale model of the Titanic, and they make it do it goes up, it snaps, and goes in. So
tremendous waste of money.
Props on that for that tremendous waste of money. Speaking of, real quick, I want to bring up my like favorite miniature to save money. The beginning of Misery, when James Caan's car is going into the snow. It's like a toy car rolling down snow. It's next time you watch Misery.
I mean, I grew
check
up on
that out.
fucking Ray Harryhausen movies and stuff.
Okay.
You're watching a movie. I don't know why this
Yeah,
started doing all this
a
shit,
movie a movie like Misery or whatever. You're much more able to suspend your disbelief, because when I'm watching almost any movie, I'm always looking for what's wrong, what's the little detail that's fucked up and whatnot. But
that's so silly to me.
it is. But I just that's my fucking that's my analytic brain just can't and of course I can turn it off. Especially if it's something I'm really enjoying, I will turn it off and just but the more bored I get, the more my brain starts to look for things. So keep us hooked, directors, and then you can get away with your bullshit toy car falling off a bridge or whatever. That's what you can do. Anyway, so yeah.
Terry
Gilliam.
Love you.
Love you too, Terry Gilliam. Please finally make Don Quixote.
Please.
You do whatever. I know you put a weird movie out with that new guy that's in the Star Wars movies. That's supposed to be Don Quixote, but it's I don't know what's going on with that. I'm never gonna read that book. Have you read it?
Keep meaning to.
Yeah, keep meaning to.
I will.
I remember when I worked at this place and this guy I wouldn't say I didn't like him, but just something gave me the heebies and the jeebies a little, and I remember him reading it at the place we worked, and I was I bet that's what makes you a jerk. If you read that book, you become an asshole. So I'm we're already plenty assholes.
Yeah.
I don't need any more hipster fucking garbage polluting my brain. So yeah. We are already so smug.
So smug.
We are the smuggest motherfuckers.
So smug.
I really quick I wanted to bring up something. This is Eric Meeberg. This is Eric Meeberg's hero moment. He's looking at me terrified. What I'm about to bring up. We were I had a really great week doing stand-up. I did stand-up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Finally gonna take a week and a half off. I'm hoping. Really hoping take a week and a half off, work on some personal things for me, instead of just doing stand-up for you people for free all the time. Yeah, see, we told you we were smug. Smug as a mug. All right, that would be a cute mug. Smug mug, and it just says that. Oh, I'm just coming up with things on Amazon that people would buy.
Smug as a bug in a rug.
Smug as a bug in a rug. All right, so I just wanted to tell this quick story. Monday, you came with me to Mai Kai. And it's a great comedians it's a really good place to go up and try out some weird stuff. You can
very good environment.
Yeah, great environment. Cool place. You can go up there, try your really weird Andy Kaufman shit, whatever you want to do. So anyway, you, our friend Jess, fan of the show.
Great people.
Yeah, great people. And Dan Perea, who was here tonight. We were all out front of the establishment. And a man, really more of a beast,
It was creature,
a hell beast, a creature.
Very pronounced neck tattoos.
Yes, neck tattoos, arm tattoos, black tank top and jeans. With a can of we believe to be Four Loko in a brown paper bag.
I thought it was Steel Reserve. I believe it was Steel Reserve.
There's
Blackberry.
An argument could be made for Colt 45.
Could be.
He seemed like the guy that goes for the Colt. But anyway, so he's walking up, and we immediately just know what's about to go down. So we all kind of part like the Red Seas to let his energy through.
Yeah, it's all you can do.
Yeah, it's all we can do, and just okay, let it happen. He approaches us. First thing he asks, "Are any of you Irish?" you know, that's always a good conversation starter when you're just like, what are you? Where are you from? No, but where are you really from? You know, that kind of monster. Anyway, like none of us are Irish as far as we know. Jess is Italian, and Dan is Jewish and Latin, and me and you believe we're both from the Portlandia. We are basically Portlandia. This is basically the Portlandia podcast, I would say. But great show. Fred Armisen. Wonderful. Carrie Brownstein.
Undeniable.
Yes, wonderful. Anyway, so he walks through us, and I want you to... You said it so well. Like, what were the things... He kind of walks through us, like, asks us if we're Irish... Like, starts asking us, like, do you have this, that? And we're just like, yeah, sorry, we can't, sorry. And he starts walking away, and what was the things he was saying, Mr. Meberg?
The things he was saying?
Yeah, you said it, like, really well, so just like, yeah, man, yeah, you know, not me, but one day, there's gonna be a violent guy.
There's gonna be a guy
There's gonna be a guy that's
There's gonna be a violent guy.
A violent guy. Violent. He just kept emphasizing violent. He kept like nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm a good guy.
It's like Trump. It's like Trump saying everything's the best and everything's the truth over and over again. Like
that'll convince you.
Like that'll convince you. Like that he's like not violent. He looked like the most violent guy I've ever seen.
I'm not molesting you.
No, I'm not
molesting you.
No, not quite. No, not me. He kept saying, "Not me." Like but anyway, so he walks away. Finally, he's finally gone, and then this is your hero moment. Is you just say, "Is America finally great again?" Is it? And you just kind of saved us all from like feeling like shit, from knowing that guy exists. We all laughed. Had a good time. Went in, did stand up, had a good time. And so anyway, we're at 37 minutes. Spencer wanted to just say two more things. He recommends a movie. Don't watch American History X. Watch all of Terry Gilliam's films.
All of Terry Gilliam's films.
All of them. All of Ed Norton's films except American History X. It's, it has its moments, but it's, yeah. Anyway, it's another film I wanted to recommend on Netflix now. This is for very specific cases. This is a film called The King on Netflix about one of the King Henrys. There's like 16 of them, so it's one of them. They didn't specify in the film, but it's a film made by Plan B Productions, which made Killing Them Softly, another film I love very much. It's Brad Pitt has some stake in the company, some I think creative input to some effect. Brad Pitt's in Killing Them Softly. Brad Pitt is not in this film, but it is not to its detriment. Detriment. I'll have a detriment for my tongue. Anyway, it's kind of a wonderful like kind of blend between like a very very hard hitting like historical like story that's like kind of like Lincoln, if you've seen Lincoln.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like somewhere in between Lincoln and Braveheart. It's
a very
like
cool mix.
it has like all the action sequences are so good. Like, and it's not an action-packed filled movie. It's lots of like dramatic like, wow, this is crazy. Anyway, highly recommend The King on Netflix. So last thing I wanted to bring up was I am a obscure movie fan, as my co-host is.
Yes. We
love obscure movies, and like you hear like whisper about a movie like, oh, what's that? What's this? Because you never know. Yes, Magic Mike. I think that's what you said. You whispered Titanic, a very obscure little gem. Yes.
Look for it.
Yeah, look for it.
You'll find a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who.
Yeah, you can like find like a weird bootleg copy at like a convention or something, like film convention, like
There's like a tiny closet at Comic-Con,
yeah.
and it's like a
guy dressed as a Tauntaun from Star Wars like opens up a door.
Yeah, and he'll like open up his little trench coat and
opens up a trench coat.
If you have the right keyword, he might hook you up.
If you say Orange Blossom, he'll open up his coat and give you a copy of the obscure Titanic.
That's right.
And that's how you will have to see that, you know. But so I wanted to bring up this really obscure film that I heard a mention about it in another movie I liked, and a few other things. So it has a really long, obscene title, but I'm just gonna say Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai is the biggest piece of shit I ever wasted an hour and a half on. Wow, and let's just go through the list. It's 1984, I believe, and it's a production company's attempt at like coming up with their own superhero, sort of. It's terrible. He's Buckaroo Banzai he's half Japanese, half white, and he's just white, so cultural appropriate. He's just white, played by Peter Weller, the wonderful Peter Weller. Peter Weller from RoboCop. RoboCop, one of the best movies ever made. Ever. RoboCop 2, no. RoboCop 2. RoboCop 3 bad. RoboCop 3 bad, where, it's awful.
RoboCop 2, they still had the mojo.
RoboCop 2 still had the mojo, just not the tight plot.
Yeah.
It's not the tight plot. But anyway, Peter Weller, Jeff Goldblum, John Lithgow, Christopher Lloyd, all these people are in this film, and it's literally like 10 other people you would recognize right away, and it is a big piece of horse shit. Let me run through the list of all of Buckaroo Banzai's supposed professions. He is a particle physicist, neurosurgeon, interdimensional traveler, rock star, samurai, cowboy. It's everything in the kitchen sink, baby. And there's a scene where he gets to kind of each thing. The movie starts, he's performing surgery. The next scene, he's like fixing up he's like getting into his supercar that's gonna travel through a dimension, and then the next scene, he's playing a gig. He's doing his rock star thing. Then there's a scene where he's in a samurai robe, holding a sword, and you just see him put it up on a rack of swords. And that's the only thing.
It sounds like Troy McClure the movie.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. It is Troy McClure the movie. You took every fucking Troy McClure bit and put it all into one movie. That's exactly what it is. It's a horrible piece of shit, and I need to rant about it for maybe one more minute, I swear. But, anyway, he does all these things. He has an old-timey 6-shooter he uses. They fight aliens from another dimension. There's like a whole insane plot about like there's like rebel aliens that are like trying to take over their dimension and ours, and it's really ridiculous. Another thing I'll mention, like full spoilers, because fuck this piece of shit, never watch it. The aliens have like a gas that they give off that when you like inhale it, you see them as a normal human. So constantly, before that's explained, you're constantly seeing like the camera cut back from weird alien head in clothes to like normal human head, just back and forth without any explanation. And finally, the big climax, you'd think he'd get to fight with the samurai sword that was set up. Maybe he uses his rock star abilities. Basically what he does is presses a button to kill John Lithgow, and then like
as we all do,
it's the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen. I think it's like some kind of avant-garde art piece that they were attempting. Anyway, Buckaroo Banzai Go fuck yourself, whoever made that. I love that the movie ends. The movie does end with...
I love that about so many
I
movies.
love that about so many movies at the end. So, next, coming soon, Buckaroo Banzai in, like, they set up the sequel at the end of the movie. Buckaroo Banzai, like, fights the Hydra or some bullshit. Like, that's what it is. And then Peter Weller and everyone in that went on to do better things.
Yes.
So that's the good of the story. So Mr. Eric Nierberg, before we call this, we're at 45 minutes. Anything else you want to say to the folks at home?
Hi, Mr. Gilliam.
Hi, Mr. Gilliam. He's
Hi, Mr.
obsessed.
Gilliam.
Yeah, Gilliam. He's Gilliam obsessed. Oh, God. All right. All right. Well, folks, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Have a wonderful night.